There are few topics that are more controversial than the one we'll look at in this program. It affects over 900,000 lives each year. It's an issue that many people are uncomfortable talking about. Hello, I'm Kelly Wright, and you're watching Taking Care of Business. We're at the Supreme Court, and on today's program, we'll hear stories about people who have suffered traumatically while dealing with the consequences of abortion. One woman would tell us about how she personally profited from the life-altering circumstances of others. Additionally, we'll hear from people who offer solutions and hope to the divisive issue of abortion. But first, here's something that we want you to know. The facts about abortion don't lie. Over 60 million abortions have taken place since the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade decision of 1973. In the U.S., almost 4 million babies are born every year. But sadly, nearly 1 million more are aborted.
You're going to do this and we're going to shut up about it.
By the age of 45, 1 in 4 women will have an abortion.
There were rows and rows of cots.
But the numbers, while shocking, don't show the pain, the hurt, and the suffering by all those involved.
No one's going to know.
Don't concentrate on what we killed. Concentrate on helping that woman.
You're going to act like things are normal, but they weren't ever normal.
And they said, you need to lie here for 30 minutes and then you can leave with women wailing. They were just wailing.
There is not one abortion clinic in this nation operated by normal people. They're very hurt people. We lied to ourselves and to each other on a daily basis.
You know, I've long believed that a society can be judged by how we care for our most vulnerable, the aged, the infirm, the disabled, and the unborn.
Anyone that's working as a government official should care about this issue because really we are talking about our future citizens.
We are at a point where we can say we need to help these young ladies.
Our job as a church is to help reach the lost. Our job as a church is to comfort those who need comfort.
I have always believed that our faith institutions can touch and reach people in ways that government agencies never will be able to.
God put us on this earth to reach others and to be a part of their lives and to help them any way that we possibly can.
We need to stand as an alternate to abortion.
In light of these tremendous challenges, consider the consequences we so easily ignore. Rarely do people understand the ramifications of this kind of procedure and how it results in not only affecting them, but to those around them. You see, so very often it takes place in the rush of the moment with unexpected ramifications. One young woman spoke openly about her experience, and that's the question we address with our next story.
I have these amazing, beautiful daughters who are these spectacular human beings, and I didn't give that child the chance to be a doctor or play sports or love his sisters, for them to love him. I robbed him. I robbed him of an amazing family.
An abortion, though, is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. and you can't go back. I found out I was pregnant. I was pretty excited. I was also scared. My daughter's father was out of the picture. He had abandoned us. When I told my boyfriend, I thought he'd be excited. He wasn't happy like I thought he'd be, but he wasn't angry either. We just started to have discussions about it and saying we can do this later. We've only been together 9 months, but right now is probably not a good time for us. Why don't we wait? And since you're so early, I think we should just have an abortion. He offered to pay for it. The woman at the abortion clinic told me I was so early, so it wasn't really a baby anyway. And I looked at her and I said, are you sure? Are you sure that I should do this? She said, well, you're here right on time. It's not going to affect you at all. Let's get this taken care of. We're just terminating a pregnancy, and you're going to be fine. You can have more children later. You're healthy, and it's not really a baby anyway. It didn't take very long. I was just minutes. I wanted to scream stop. I just couldn't make myself say it. I wanted to say, wait, I changed my mind. I'm laying there, I can remember thinking, looking up at the ceiling, going, no. And then remembering, gosh, but he's done that now. Now he's put that, a speculum, but now it's too late, and then it was too late. There were rows and rows of cots with women wailing. They were just wailing. And they said, you need to lie here for 30 minutes and then you can leave. I didn't last 5 minutes. I said, you can't make me stay. And I knew immediately when I got on the elevator, I knew it. What you have just done has forever changed your life. You are never going to be the same. And then I went to bed, and I just stayed in bed for days, and then a week, and another week, and I couldn't get out, and nobody knew what was wrong with me. Everything before there, when you find out you're pregnant and you're in this crisis, is all this just cloud of, okay, I need to hear what I need to hear because I've got to do this. This is the right thing. I've got to do it. Then as soon as it's done, it's gone, and your reality hits, and you're going, oh my God, what did I just do? I literally went into a place and let this man who had no feelings or sympathy for me take my baby. I don't deserve happiness. I mean, I killed my baby. As soon as I had an abortion and got off that table and was in that elevator, you know what those voices were saying to me? What kind of mother kills her children? What kind of woman are you that you deserve anything good that you could take the life of your own baby? Piece of me was gone that I couldn't get back. I didn't think I could get back. And then the next 13 years, I walked around with my secret, didn't tell anybody. I couldn't even look in a mirror and mouth the words to myself because I was so ashamed. Because I am not the kind of person, even men, who didn't value life. I adore my children. They're my life. I'm a great mother. I was a great mother then. So all I needed was somebody to rescue me. And I know I would have that child here today. Yes, there's no doubt in my mind. We try to fill that hole with so many things, and the only thing that can fill it is God. Learn to know Him and accept His forgiveness and His grace and all those things, that hole was filled. I was a Christian and still wasn't healed from having an abortion. I mean, God forgave me. I begged Him to forgive me, so He had already forgiven me. But I was still this oozing open wound walking around until I let Him say, I'm going to take care of that for you. because you're finally at your rock bottom. I've been trying to get you to let me. Now you're finally letting me. You just wait and see what we're gonna do. When I never wanted to tell anybody, now I'm ready to sit down with anybody and say, this is what happened to me. Let me tell you why I wish I hadn't done it, but how God's taking what the enemy meant for evil and he's turning it into good by using my life for good to save lots of babies. My child didn't die in vain.
There are solutions available all around the nation that offer alternatives to women who have never considered these kinds of ramifications. Don't be afraid to talk to trustworthy people you know, who will do whatever they can to help you through this life-altering decision. However, understand this, there is also a dark secret that few people are willing to talk about when it comes to this important matter for your life. Believe it or not, some people have reasons to influence you into a procedure which are less than benevolent to you. In the United States, there are nearly 1,600 facilities that conduct abortions. Often, the process is conducted with only one thing in mind, and it isn't the health of the mother or the baby. Now, one former worker is sharing her inside story on the abortion industry.
I had an abortion, couldn't deal with it, couldn't justify it. And I found a way to do that by selling other women abortions. I saw the profit. I saw that I could be a millionaire selling abortions. My goal was to sell 40,000 abortions a year because my commission was $25 for each abortion. And I planned to be a millionaire. When you're talking about a woman's right, her choosing an abortion, all the dysfunctional things you hear the pro-choice people say in their angry voices and clenched fists, it's really about money at every level. I never admitted what I was doing was wrong, but deep in my heart I believe I always knew it was wrong. You can't kill on a daily basis and not recognize that you're killing. But I prayed, I tithed. I felt comforted that I could send money to the church in large amounts, and I really think now I must have deep in my heart believed I was buying my way to heaven. A person in the abortion industry has been deeply hurt by something before they walk through that door. Healthy people do not walk through the door of abortion clinics to be part of the industry. My heart changed over a long period of time to understand where I'd come from and what I'd been a part of.
Meet now Gianna Jessen. She's one of those who directly suffered consequences as a result of the choice of others. She's faced a level of adversity that is unimaginable, yet she's faced it with daring and tenacity.
My medical records is awesome. Say, born during saline abortion, April the 6th, 1977, 2.5 pounds, 29.5 weeks. Both of my biological parents were 17 years old, and my biological mother went to Planned Parenthood, and they said, you are too young to have a baby. You need to go have a late-term saline abortion. A saline abortion is a saline salt solution that's injected into the mother's womb. The baby gulps that solution. It burns the baby inside and out. It's to blind and suffocate the child. And then the baby is to be born dead within 24 hours. But after 18 hours of all of that, instead of being born dead, I was born alive. It is a complete miracle that I got out of the abortion clinic alive. Not only that I survived, but it's common practice for abortionists to strangle, suffocate, or leave a baby there to die. that has survived its abortion. But a nurse was there and the abortionist was not at work yet. And so he didn't have a chance to strangle me. So that's how I began. I was in the hospital for about 3.5 months from that point. They said I would die. Didn't die, because I don't die. It's not what I do. And then placed eventually in emergency foster care with a bunch of morons who decided they didn't like me, so they would shut me in a room for long periods of time. So I was taken out of that home and placed in a beautiful foster home. So by this time in this story, I was 17 months old, 32 pounds of dead weight, and diagnosed with cerebral palsy, which was caused directly by a lack of oxygen to my brain while I was surviving an abortion. So I would not be disabled had I not survived an abortion. But you can imagine how horrified I feel when I hear the argument, if the baby is disabled, we need to terminate the pregnancy. I mean, who are you, healthy person, to determine what my quality of life is based on your own perception? You have no idea the glories and the beauties that are inherent in adversity and overcoming. I was then eventually adopted by my foster mother, Penny's daughter, and also my prognosis was horrible. Every doctor said I would never move, I would never get out of a bed, I would always lie there for the rest of my life. So when I hear the ego and the arrogance of people today say that baby or that person should just, just be given a little pill to die because their prognosis is horrible, you have no idea the power of God and what He can do. So they said I would never move, get out of a bed. And I was walking by the age of 3.5 with a walker and leg braces. It took a strong will to survive being burned alive in my mother's womb for 18 hours. It took a strong will to learn how to walk once and then twice after spinal surgery at 10. It took a strong will to complete 2 marathons by running on my toes. It took a strong will to stand for Jesus when people only want what I call the cocktail party Jesus. It takes a strong will, and so if you have a kid that's driving you crazy, go freak out in the other room, but know that you have a kid that most likely will change this world when everyone else is running for the hills. So you can't tell me what my destiny is, and nobody can tell any viewer what their destiny is, only God can. I have never seen anything heal anyone completely other than Jesus. The only person that can set you free from that abortion is Him. I've met my biological mother. She came to an event once and said, "Hi, I'm your mother." And there was no warning. And I prayed in my head and I said, "Ma'am, I'm a Christian and I forgive you." She said, "I don't want your forgiveness. Your father is this and you are this and you are this and you are this." And shame and rage just pouring out. It was almost as if, how dare you live? How dare you live? And remind me. And the reason I tell you that is twofold. Forgiveness is so important. Bitterness is a great way to die while you're still alive. And number 3, none of us need to be defined by where we come from. I'm not defined by what she said. I'm defined by Jesus. I am just not accepting defeat. I have told the enemy of my soul, so he can hear it, I have said, I don't care if I have to crawl to heaven. I am never giving up. I don't care what happens. I am never quitting. So have a nice day.
Wow, what an incredible story. Can you imagine? Hats off to the courage and determination that Gianna has taken to overcome the challenges in her life, and she's done it with true grit. Our next story comes from a young woman whose best friend helped her through something she had no idea was even happening.
Being pregnant at 13 is horrible. You feel humiliated. You feel like you have no rights. I mean, you're trapped. You love that baby. I did.
What she was about to tell me was one of the saddest things that I had ever heard, one of the saddest things that she had probably ever told anyone, but it was life-changing.
You solemnly depend on your parents. So I knew I had no choice. You know, my mom's choice was to get rid of the baby.
When she approached her mom to tell her that she was pregnant, her mom said, well, you're 13, you're not ready to be a mom, and so there's only one thing for you to do, and that was to have an abortion.
You're gonna do this, and we're gonna shut up about it, and no one's gonna know, and you're gonna go back to school, and you're gonna act like things are normal, but they weren't ever normal. I had a best friend. She was with me through everything. And we played basketball. We were both very athletic, cheerleading, and I would tell her, I'm like, something's wrong, you know? I'm still sick, my belly's still growing. One day in the locker room, we were changing, and she said, Tanya, you're still pregnant.
Her mother took her back to the same abortion doctor, and the abortion doctor told her that her abortion had been successful, but that she was still pregnant.
They said the only way this could have ever happened is the first abortion, I was pregnant with twins, and he only got one of the sacs, and just tearing her amniotic sac, but not, you know, getting the whole baby. So she would continue to live and grow in there.
She had been pregnant with twins, and I had survived her abortion. The first 2 years of my life, I actually went through multiple body casts as the doctors did everything they could to put back together my body from what had been done from that abortion.
And the what ifs if I wouldn't have had that first abortion. You know, I'd have 2 babies.
So many people think, you know, gosh, Claire, you survived your mother's abortion. Aren't you upset? Aren't you angry? There were so many things in my life that God had forgiven me for. I knew that God had forgiven my birth mother, and so I knew that I should too.
Every day, you know, you wake up and wonder, or you just see something on TV and think, you know, brings back bad memories. If I could touch one girl to know that she has a choice to not have that abortion and to give that baby up, you know, then everything I did would be worth it.
An abortion has a domino effect, an effect that we don't realize when we're making that one choice.
As you can see from these stories that we've just shown you, our choices have consequences that affect everyone around us. You may find yourself facing just such a choice. Well, we at TCB want you to know that there are alternatives to abortion available to you. One such facility recently opened its doors in San Antonio, Texas. It's called the Sanctuary of Hope.
My official involvement with the Sanctuary of Hope began 2 years ago. Is this the carpet for all of downstairs? Pastor Hagee selected me for this position. I saw how much he cared for the unborn and for children who were in need of a loving and caring environment. We need to stand as an option or an alternate to abortion. Planned Parenthood is saying, come here. We'll take care of you. You don't have to have this baby. We're saying, come to us. If you choose to have this baby, which we pray that you do, we'll help you and we'll encourage you. No judgment at all. They are deciding to give the gift of life. And because that has touched me personally, why would I not share that love and that encouragement with them? Having had that personal experience in my life within my family, I think I come from a place in which I can understand how these young ladies are feeling. These young ladies may be coming from a place of hurt, abuse, insecurity, low self-esteem. Why would you not be genuine and real with a person like that? Why would you present fake? Our whole purpose is to nurture and care and take care of these young ladies, but we also want to introduce Christ to them. Christ is not fake. Christ is very real. So we need to live in such a way and present in such a way where they see Christ in us.
Amid all the hustle and bustle of daily living, we will face choices. And choices, particularly one as important as what to do about an abortion, it has eternal consequences. As a result of that, we'd like you to know that you should never give up on hope, never make a decision out of desperation.
There is help available even now. Call the National Right to Life at 1-800-848-LOVE. That's 1-800-848-5683. Or log on to nrlc.org. If you want to get involved to help mothers in your area, find your local crisis pregnancy center. They would likely be thrilled to have a new volunteer.
Be sure you call. We'll provide you with faith, hope, and love. Until next time, I'm Kelly Wright, and this is Taking Care of Business.